on a personal note, I had given that book and another book about Soviet UFOs to this guy in like 2004.
We must find him.
In exchange for a series of VHSs by Stanton T. Friedman on flying saucers. And the place that he worked closed soon thereafter, and I never saw him again. We didn't get to, re-exchange our items. And I was always disappointed by that because I enjoyed those books more than Stanton T. Friedman.
And you don't have a VHS player?
Oh, I absolutely do.
You do have a VHS player.
I do, and I have many VHSs.
Is that why you took them over the books? You were like, books are a thing of the past, idiot. VHS. VHS is the way of the future.
People were still watching VHSs in 2004.
Yeah, absolutely. Actually. Yeah, totally. You could, we were still circulating those fucking things.
That's when you had the good VHS and DVD players, like the 2-in-1.
Yes, true.
Yeah.
It was also maybe the end of the period of VHS circulation, where you would get like crazy edits of all the weirdest shit somebody saw while they were on TV, whatever channel.
I have many of those.
Those are great. Those are so good. That's a genre that I really miss, actually.
Yeah. Anyway, that's just my note on these paranormal stuff behind the Iron Curtain books that I read many, many, many years ago.
Yeah. Well, in 1970, everybody was reading them and loving it. Well, they weren't. They were terrified. So today, we're going to look at one of two divergent paths that begin more or less with that book. Let's say one of them. The one we're doing today.
Wait, so they weren't like reading it for fun and trading it for videos about UFOs. Instead, they were getting like black budget funding for like further research into other related things.
Well, actually, Boris, I think you've hit upon a very good poetic summary of what we're about to talk about today. In fact, the entire history of this whole program is basically the equivalent of trading this exact book for a bunch of VHSs about UFOs. That's pretty much what ends up happening here on a grand scale, featuring like every intelligence agency.
All right.
Yeah. So you were just
following in their footsteps.
Yeah, exactly. Following in their footsteps. There you go. So yeah, we're looking at one of these two divergent paths that sort of starts there with the great trade-off. The one we're doing today has all the institutional support in the world, like $20 million, 24 years to fuck around with, The other, the one we're doing next time, that one bubbles up from the garage of a psychotic incel Nazi.
Oh, okay.
But both are hardwired to the same history. Both owe their existence to like Schrader and Ostrander's stupid ass book, along with like literally every other name that I've mentioned in this series. So our path today will be the story of Project Stargate. Fritz here. This has been a highly manipulative attempt to entrap you into our Patreon page at patreon.com/tenepod to subscribe and get the full premium episode we've teased here. Also check out our Twitter account, also at Tenepod, and follow us, subscribe, and get the latest updates as well as whatever garbage falls out of our brains. So we cool?